Hello guys, welcome to my channel Code Root. So today we are going to learn about the basics of operating system. So in this video I covering what is operating system and what is type, advantage, disadvantage, what is the efficient way to use that. So let's begin. So as you see, operating system is a kind of system that can be able to help hardware and software to connect with each other. Basically, it's provide a platform. Here, as you see, the name line is written as they manage the hardware and software, provide the platform for application. They managing hardware and software and make a smoothness communication between them. So now we have what is operating system. So operating system is a kind of platform or intermediary software that can enables our hardware and software to communicate with each other. So you can think of operating system as a brain. If a person don't have brain in its body, so the person is useless. It's only a dummy body. The same things happen with the computer. When the computer don't have any operating system, it seems like a dumb machine of no use. So let's see what is written over here. System software and OS act as a bridge between the user and computer. Hardware it enables seamless as I told you. System software is making a bridge between user and computer to interact with the hardware. Okay, connecting the hardware and software for the communication, smoothness communication. Resource management. What is that? Resource management. It's control the resources and ensure smooth task execution, both software and manage. Resource basic means of resource managing how the things are controlled and how the processes happening inside our computer, inside our processor, is that the CPU. So how the things happen inside the CPUs can be controlled by operating system as well. So let's move on the next slide. Okay, here we have the core functionality that the operating system provides us. So first one is resource allocation. As I told you just now, the managing the CPU memory uses and how we can be make a optimized use of memory, how we make the things done in optimal manner by utilizing the cache or RAM. So this covered in the resource allocation. Then we come across the task management, how we can be handling the different tasks that can be sequentially come. Either this can be managed in the sequential manner or can be just jump over one to another task whenever it gets some time or some the CPUs in the idle time. Idle time is the basically a kind of time in which our CPU doesn't have any task to perform. So basically a worker, let's think of CPU as a worker which cannot do anything at that time. So this is in the ideal case. You can able to assign any of the further work to user interface. Provide a command line and as you know, I hope you know that we have the two kind of interfaces, GUI and CUI, command line interface and graphical user interface. So the traditional way of command line interfaces came from the Linux operating system where we can be dealing with all the stuff using the command lines. And now we have the GUIs. As you see, there's a screen. I'm making any actions on it. So this all happen with the help of GUI. For this, we need to insert the graphic card in our PC for the advanced functionality. Okay, now we come discuss in detail what the resource management is. So resource management is basically covering the three things. CPU scheduling. So prioritizing the tasks that we need to do first. Here are the some examples of algorithm that we are applying for adjusting them: round robin and FIFO. FIFO means first in first out. So the first task that come into the queue is the first came out of the queue. Memory management: allocate and deallocate the memory efficiently. When there is a use of RAM, we put the programs or the stuff into the RAM, and when the work is done now with that thing, we can just put back it into the our row. So the third one is device driver, facilitate communication with operating system. So we need to insert multiple device driver for the different. If you want to be work with the, just like you can be work with the sounds, so you need a sound card. You want to be play some video games, you need a graphic card. The size of drive can be. This also we talk about the SSD memory or HSD memory for storing stuff. So now we are going to discuss the process management in detail. So say have the three things: process creation. So what happened in process creation? As you see, the new process is created. OS is allocating the things for that. If there's some program is start executing, we need to assign some of the resources and the processes for it's being executed. So with some utilities and resources can be came into the execution. After that, process synchronization, coordinate, correct, concurrent process, avoid the conflict efficiently. So this means that the working in a efficient manner, just synchronizing manner means this managing all the tasks that the things happen on the proper order or in a flow to avoid the conflicts. Just say the people's, as I take the example of leaf FIFO structure, first in first out. The same like that. The process or execution that is transferred in first. The third one is process termination. After the completing the process without any errors, we are done with it. We are done with it. Now our process K is at the end. We need to terminate that process. The termination is happen on the two cases. Either the process is complete or some error occur in between. Yeah. Now, as I discussed earlier, user interface. Text-based used to advance, as you see Linux terminal. I discussed it before. Command line, using command line we talk with the operating system, and this is the second one, graphical user interface. Visually icon window offers ease with icons or some extra stuff. We can be deal with GUI things, will communicate with the operating system with us. Now we come across the types of operating system. You need to know about this. This is really important thing to know. So first one is bench OS. So first I laid for you. Process job in bench without user interaction uses like a mainframe system. As I told you, the FIFO framework uh, works over here in the bench OS. First, all the tasks are taken and form a kind of LIFO and put them all into the benches and complete them one by one. So that is kind of FIFO structure. So the operations happen in the bench operating system is in the FIFO form. Okay, and the second one is time sharing or allocate CPU time slice to multiple users. So time sharing is that it need to be switched whenever CPU get idle. It can be switched between the different jobs. Let's suppose we have the three jobs: job one, job two, and job three. When the CPU is working for the job one, whenever some of the process is happening inside that, or some of the input, okay, then the CPU work. When the operation happen like input output operation, then CPU is in the ideal case. So for that time it's free to execute the processes or tasks inside the second one and the third one, second job and the third. And real time communication, really important thing. They just need to get the response in really small interval of time. So we are using that. It is used in highly secure places, just like air traffic control and missile launch, etc. Some of the more operating system types are distributed OS, mobile OS, embedded OS. Let us discuss the distributed OS. Managing resource across the multiple network computer, typically in the cluster. As I told, distributed OS, your OS is get distributed, a kind of communication panel or the communication medium available between the different OS, and everyone in the network able to access others or OS facilities. That someone have driver in their PC, but the other don't have that. So the second, the first one is able to utilize the drivers of the other person. Now we come across the embed OS, specialized for embed operating system automatic. So it's kind of operating system that we are embedding in any of this stuff. Just like if you want, we make a little program and feed in it to our washing machine. So it's kind of a small operating system. There's have a small set of tasks to do, and they can be operate on this, and then the task repetitively managed or the command by our or the master of that item. Either in the case of phrase, also in the case of washing machine, etc. Now we have the mobile operating system. This is specially designed for smartphone and mobiles. The examples are Android and iOS. Now we have next slide, the example of operating system. Now as you see, we have, as for now I'm showing the only 5 operating system, but it's not limited to that. You can free to explore more. Dominant market. The Microsoft Windows have the dominant market. As for now, Apple's known for experienced user, powerful servers, 37% of web server. Okay, as you see, different Google mobiles. Google is offering the Android software. 85% of smartphone have that, and iOS for the from the Apple security and no for their security integration. Now we are at the end of our slide. So essentials of the computer operation. Operating system is the fundamental for any computer device. As we discussed, the operating system is the brain of computer. Without this brain, our body is nothing. So for the computer, without operating system, computer is nothing. Continuous evolving. We need to evolve with the technology. The dark meet new technology. So how can we do that? Regular updates of our operating system make us future proof. The crucial for software development. Operating system concept is a vital thing to be do or be the part of your PC, because without this your PC is lifeless, or facilitating much more thing inside the operating system which make a way easier. If we have now we have a way more functionality in operating system, but is at some places apply the a process of abstraction. So that's why we are only able to see the necessary thing. The internal operation we can't care of. So we are at the end of the video. So thank you guys. I hope you like the video. If you like, then do subscribe my video and hit the bell icon for the latest video. Thank you.